Developers! Dev Insight Brave Arsenal. We hope you enjoyed yesterday's live stream focused on Destiny 2 Into the Light, where we revealed the Brave Arsenal, a collection of some of the most iconic weapons in Destiny's history. Today, we will expand on how we are bringing back these living legends to the current sandbox alongside their limited edition variants. Without further ado, we leave you in the very capable hands of our weapons team. So introducing Brave Arsenal. Good day, folks. Chris Proctor and the weapons team here with the details on Destiny 2 Into the Light weapon sets. In Destiny 2 Into the Light, we wanted to ship new versions of as many of the most iconic weapons from all over Destiny's history as we could, including a couple of original Destiny throwbacks with updated art as well as rebuilt or brand new perks. Many of the original versions can no longer be acquired, while others can only be obtained from in-game activities. Now, we pulled these weapons from many sources, including raids, pinnacle weapons, black armory, and one epic meme, that being Edge Transit. Then we carefully weighed impact of rebuilding certain weapons against others before deciding on these to represent different eras of the game and a variety of weapon archetypes. The selection we ended up with is 12 iconic weapons remembered with a smile by many players. Many of these have random rolls for the very first time, while others have updated perk pools. Our goal was to make them feel like they used to and may retain their original stat packages, but others have been updated to achieve that feel in the current weapon sandbox. But let us be clear, only the Destiny 2 Into the Light versions of these weapons have updated perk pools, even compared to the weapons that are currently obtainable in the game. Each weapon comes with a brand new origin trait and dominant ability, and many of them can roll with a new right column trait, Desperate Measures. We also made sure all of these Brave Arsenal weapons were updated to our current art quality bar, and they have a consistent visual theme across the whole set. All right, now behold Brave Arsenal. Here are the 12 weapons that we've brought back. Forbearance, the Witch Queen, Season of the Risen. This wave frame grenade launcher has been a staple in PvE since it shipped, with the potent combination of Ambitious Assassin and Chain Reaction. It was only the second special ammo weapon to include this strong of an add clear perk. This is from the Vow of the Disciple raid, so normally it requires ownership of the Witch Queen and an active raid group to get it. But we wanted all players to experience this so it's so strong it could be an exotic weapon and get a taste of in-game artillery. We also took this opportunity to update its perk pool to include Disruption Break, Demolitionist, and more. So third column, it will have Unrelenting, Stats for All, Demolitionist, Ambitious Assassin, Surplus, Steady Hands, and Disruption Break. Fourth column, Wellspring, Golden Tricorn, One for All, Bane Switch, Chain Reaction, Rampage, and Desperate Measures. All right, so it's gonna have Bane Switch on it as well. So Undercurrent, which also has Bane Switch. Okay, the main takeaway is I think most people are probably gonna rock Ambitious Assassin and Chain Reaction. Keep in mind, all of these weapons, all of these traits are going to be enhanceable. I don't know. I'm a little torn on this. I know where some people are like, why are they doing this? I think it's because they're trying to give people a taste of some of these raid weapons and hope that, hey, they're going to go play the raid, right? And maybe get the craftable roll, maybe get some of the other weapons in those particular raids, which brings us to Succession, Beyond Light, Season of the Hunt. With its combination of reconstruction and verbal weapon, this sniper rifle doesn't have to be manually reloaded, hits very hard, and sees a lot of usage in long-range raids and Nightfall encounters. It lured players into the Deepstone Crypt raid when Beyond Light launched, and again when the weapon set was reprised more recently. As with Forbearance, while acquiring this from the Deepstone Crypt raid requires ownership of Beyond Light, this version is available to all players. So third column, we have Moving Target, No Distractions, Led from Gold, Reconstruction, Firmly Planted, Demolitionist, and Discord. In that fourth column, we have Snapshot Sights, Redirection, Recombination, Vorpal Weapon, Focus Fury, Firing Line, Box Breathing, and Desperate Measures. Look, again, on the topic of Succession and Forbearance, this is my opinion on it. I think that this is in the game, or they're doing this because this update is completely free, right? Not only is it free, it's got a lot of different weapons that are coming to us, and it's going to be bringing everybody up to level. It obviously serves a good purpose, but I think the pitch was, I'm just thinking of this internally, is, hey, it's free, but we're going to give them a taste of, you know, one of these raid weapons, one being from Vow of the Disciple, the other one being from Deepstone Crypt, in hopes of getting people to then go do those raids and therefore net money toward Bungie. Would I have loved to have seen Revoker or a variant of Revoker and something else there other than Forbearance? Sure. I'm just letting you know that that's what I think the reason behind both of these weapons coming to us like this. But let's continue. Fallen Guillotine, Shadowkeep, Seasonal Arrivals. The first legendary Vortex Frame Sword, Fallen Guillotine, is descended from the Dark Drinker Sword from the original Destiny. It immediately jumped to the top of the sword meta when it shipped and is still relevant now, making it one of the most persistently popular legendary weapons in Destiny 2. Now Fallen Guillotine is back with an updated perk pool and some spicy combos, including Repulsor Brace and Destabilizing Rounds and Chain Reaction plus Surrounded. Ooh. And longtime favorites, Relentless Strikes plus Whirlwind Blade. Third column, you have Vorpal Weapon, Relentless Strikes, Repulsor Brace, Frenzy, Attrition Orbs, Chain Reaction, and Duelist Trance. In that fourth column, we have Surrounded, Whirlwind Blade, Destabilizing Round, Eager Edge, Bait and Switch, Sword Logic, and Desperate Measures. Guys, there it is. This is now the best sword in the game. We literally just did sword testing. Fallen Guillotine was not that far behind our other swords, even with your normal roll, that being Relentless and Whirlwind Blade, which was the meta. But the fact that you can get Vorpal and Frenzy, a damage perk in the third column, and then you could stack that with Surrounded or Whirlwind on other damage perks. You're doubling up on damage perks there. This is probably going to be the best sword in the game. This just killed the Slammer. If you farmed for a God Roll Slammer, I'm sorry. I hate it for you. I do. The Recluse, Forsaken, Season of the Drifter. This weapon shipped as a Pinnacle Crucible reward, instantly became mandatory in PvE and ruling PvP with an Iron Fist. Now it's back with random rolls, including the iconic Master of Arms perk. Kills with any weapon, improves this weapon damage for a short time. We've tweaked this perk to be more balanced in the previous version, but the Recluse remains an extremely potent option in PvP and PvE. By the way, we broke down the damage numbers. We were seeing 15% from Master of Arms, but we had an entire video on that earlier today. Now, third column, Beating Frenzy, Enlightened Action, Subsistence, Threat Detector, Repulsor Brace, Hipfire Grip, and Dynamic Sway Reduction. In the fourth column, we have Master of Arms, Target Lock, Frenzy, Destabilizing Rounds, Surrounded, Tap the Trigger, and Desperate Measures. Okay, could do Subsistence, Master of Arms. I don't think I would take Target Lock over it. Now, Surrounded is also present here too, guys. I think Dynamic Sway, you know, just running PvP right on this, right? Dynamic Sway Reduction and Tap the Trigger would be pretty solid. All right, the Mountaintop, Forsaken, Season of the Forge, another pinnacle PvP weapon that was the backbone of raid teams for more than a year. The Mountaintop had massive damage output in PvE and PvP. We've turned its Micro Missile perk into a new Breach Grenade Launcher intrinsic perk, so it retains that functionality, but also has two traits on top of that. We didn't want to return to the days of Mountaintop PvP meta, so we opted to rebuild Micro Missile. It retains its PvE strength, but with decreased self-damage and a massively increased physics impulse, hilarity ensues. So yeah, you can actually use it just like Danger Zone, guys, where you shoot it at your feet and you boost yourself up, right? Some people were talking about utilizing that with like Mana Core. Boost yourself up, use Mana Core to, you know, essentially stop yourself and plant yourself in the air. But third column, Ambitious Assassin, Impulse Amplifier, Demolitionist, Lead from Gold, Slick Troll, Auto-Loading Holster, and Overflow. Fourth column, Rampage, Vorpal Weapon, Adrenaline Junkie, One for All, Harmony, Recombination, and Frenzy. The fact that it's still Micro Missile, so it still moves incredibly fast. I mean, this is like an instantaneous shot here from Mountaintop. My question is like, how much does Impulse Amplifier actually help with that? I'm speaking from a PvP perspective here, by the way. I think for PvE, you know, you've got a lot of great options. I think most people are probably going to opt for Auto-Loading Holster. You know, you could go Ambitious Assassin, though. You know, damage perks. You know, One for All wouldn't be a hard one to proc, considering it is a grenade launcher, and splashing a group of enemies with it won't be too terribly difficult, right? But Frenzy too, if you were doing Frenzy, Ambitious Assassin, proc the reload buff, and you could just reload back to back. But for PvP, if I was, you know, we're gonna have to just test to see what the damage is of Mountaintop. But Impulse Amplifier, if that stacks, it's gonna be like Hitscan. All right, Hammerhead, Forsaken, Season of the Forge. The first legendary machine gun introduced in Destiny 2 is overdue for a return. Hammerhead is still considered one of the best of its kind, and it's coming back with top-tier perks and that iconic Black Armory style. The new perk combinations of Rampage plus Killing Tally and Rampage plus Desperate Measures are particularly spicy for PvE. So third column, we have Feeding Frenzy, Destabilizing Rounds, Envious Assassin, Rampage, 4 times the Charm, Rewind Rounds, and Under Over. Okay. Fourth column, we have Surrounded, High Impact Reserves, Target Lock, Onslaught, Kill and Tally, Desperate Measures, and Tap the Trigger. God damn it. You could do Onslaught, Rampage together. The damage from Rampage and Kill and Tally is going to be, dude, that with Acting War Rig is going to be disgusting. But yeah, I'm curious about an Onslaught roll too. Is this power creep? You damn right it is. This is the best machine gun in the game now. I mean, we haven't even done a review for Hammerhead yet, but this is without a doubt, this just killed all of them. This killed Commemoration, which I didn't think would be possible. But this is clearly the best. And then you can see here with like the double stacking of damage perks, kind of like what they did with Falling Guillotine. You know, Bungie's just like going, hey, here it is. Take it all. Take all the power. All right, Blast Furnace, Forsaken, Season of the Forge. Not the first, but certainly the most beloved aggressive burst, aka 4-burst pulse rifle. Blast Furnace now comes equipped with the Rasmussen ISA scope by default and rolls barrels instead of scopes in that first column. By the way, for those wondering, that was the best scope you can get on Blast Furnace. It was beautiful. Now, it was a powerhouse when it arrived and is once again with the advantage of some top-tier new perks, including the potent combination of Kinetic Tremors plus Firefly for PvE and Zim Moment plus Rapid Hit for a perfectly stable PvP roll. Now, third column, we have Zim Moment, Snapshot, Shoot to Loot, Keep Away, Perpetual Motion, Kinetic Tremors, and Head Seeker. In that fourth column, we have Kill Clip, Firefly, One for All, Frenzy, Rampage, Rapid Hits, and Desperate Measures. Again, double stacking here. We've got Kinetic Tremors and also damage perks that can go along with it. And then, of course, we could see what that stacking is. But, dude, I need to see how Kinetic Tremors and Firefly works together. I don't know. I feel like with the Firefly AoE damage, how would that go about in proccing Kinetic Tremors? Does it count as a hit? Does it count as multiple hits? And then for my PvP players, I'm a little torn on this. I mean, yeah, you've got Zim Moment there, which always felt great on Blast Furnace. And you could do a Zim Moment rapid hit roll. Head Seeker is also really, really good. I don't know. It would either be Head Seeker, Kill Clip, which would just be nuts for damage, or Head Seeker and Rapid Hit. You can also do Head Seeker Rampage, by the way. I know like Kill Clip is the bigger damage buff, but if you're just like hitting, you know, like in 6v6, you got multiple targets in front of you, you know, you could just run in there with Head Seeker Rampage, pop, 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 which would be nuts. The question is after the zoom changes here to all of our weapons and the decoupling of zoom and range, how is Blast Furnace going to feel in PvP? That's what I'm wondering. Again, back in the day, we used to have, you know, the ability to choose scopes, which would greatly affect our range and, of course, the feel of the weapon. I think most people default to the Rasmussen. Hopefully, it still has the same feel. Now, Edge Transit, the meme itself, Forsaken, Season of the Outlaw. This heavy grenade launcher is a longtime fan favorite and the most often requested weapon to reprise in this list by far. Okay, not really, but the ridiculous drop rate in early Forsaken was such a persistent meme that we couldn't resist including it and turning it into one of the strongest grenade launchers in the entire game. The greatest hits of grenade launcher damage perks and one particular spicy option of Cascade Point in the third column, with Chain Reaction getting buffs on drum grenade launchers in the final shape. Ooh, okay. Chain Reaction getting a buff on drum grenade launchers in the final shape. Okay. And Chain Reaction plus destabilizing round combos provides some of the most potent ad clear in the game. And Cascade Point and Bane Switch is particularly synergistic for single target damage. Holy hell. This weapon is also why we pulled the heavy grenade launcher buff from the final shape into the 7.3.5 update. So if you remember, we did damage testing a while back going over grenade launchers, guys. But Cascade Point, a lot of people are, I don't know why they didn't realize, but there were so many people that were shitting on our rolls with Cascade Point. And then when we did damage testing, I think some of you finally saw like, wow, it's actually really, really good. And it's just the ability to blow your load so quickly. Now, third column, Chain Reaction, Cascade Point, Impulse Amplifier, Field Prep, Ambitious Assassin, Envious Assassin, Repulsive Brace. Fourth column, Frenzy, Destabilizing Round, Deconstruction, One for All, Bane Switch, Full Court, and Explosive Light. Do not use Full Court. I mean, maybe in like PvP, but the main role that I'm going to be looking for damage phases, guys. I mean, Cascade Point and Bane Switch is going to be the unique role here. Envy's Assassin, I'm not saying is not good. You know, you can build up your magazine size for sure, but it's that ability to just overwhelmingly blow your load now at, you know, maximum damage with Bane Switch. You'll get your proccing on that first shot. That's going to be really solid, guys. That is the role. And I guess for like an ad clear role, you got Chain Reaction, Destabilizing Rounds is present here. Frenzy is also here. There's a lot of different ways you can go with this. Keep in mind, everything you see here will be able to be enhanced in the final shape. This is what's happening on this list, guys, and why this is such a big deal. Everything we're going over in today's list, we're talking best-in-class weapons. Edge Transit, now best-in-class grenade launcher. Hammerhead, now best-in-class machine gun. Falling Guillotine, now best-in-class sword. These are all best-in-class. Bungie is obviously rolling all this out, incentivizing people to come back before the final shape. But even if you miss everything for like the past 2-3 years, if you just have these weapons in your arsenal, I would say, and you're at level, I would say you're very much prepared for the final shape. All right, now Luna's Howl, Forsaken, Season of the Outlaw. Of all the weapon types we wanted to include, selecting a limited number of hand cannons was by far the hardest. We probably could have filled the entire list with often requested hand cannons. We have not forgotten them. Wow. Bungie, you just... It's funny because, you know. But there are a couple that stand out, both for nostalgia and dominance, one of which is Luna's Howl. Originally, this was a precision frame 180 round per minute hand cannon, and the magnificent Howl perk would let you 2-tap on follow-up kills in PvP, driving massive amounts of players to engage with competitive PvP when it launched as a pinnacle weapon. The blistering fast time to kill was a bit over the top for the amount of effort the weapon required, so we reduced its rate of fire and redesigned the perk to have a higher reward for more effort than the original. For this iteration, we've kept it as a precision frame. It's a 140 round per minute hand cannon and redesigned with Magnificent Howl perk. The number of precision final blows before reloading affects the total rounds granted with increased range and damage. Precision final blows with Magnificent Howl active extend the effect for additional rounds. This will allow for those 2 taps, but with more effort required, and the precision frame will still make it very easy to control. The main takeaway from this, guys, because from what we broke down in our numbers, it's looking to be about a 50% damage buff. The main takeaway from this is that before, Luna's Howl was utilized as only a PvP weapon. This is very much going to be a PvE weapon as well. And then on top of that, when we start stacking things like Lucky Pants into the equation, it's going to be crazy. But let's look at these perks. Third column, Eye of the Storm, Subsistence, Discord, Encore, Slide Shot, Inline Action, and Heal Clip. Fourth column, Magnificent Howl, Heal Clip, Incandescent, Desperate Measures, Opening Shot, Precision Instruments, and Harmony. Note, it didn't make sense to ship Not Forgotten in this release, but we're on the lookout for a good opportunity to bring it back too. If you're wondering about Not Forgotten, guys, it was just like Luna's Howl, but just way better stat-wise and way sexier. Just my opinion. All right, but back to these perks, guys. I mean, look, there's so many things here. You got Heal Clip. Heal Clip is a phenomenal perk now. We're talking Cure ×2 for yourself, Cure ×1 for your teammates. I think from PvP players, yes, Magnificent Howl will be good. Eye of the Storm will also be good. I mean, both of those are going to be so good. Eye of the Storm, especially on this already extremely stable precision frame 140. I can't overlook Slide Shot, though. I think Heal Clip, because of how stable the weapon is, being a precision frame, I think you can get away not using perks like, you know, Slide Shot or Eye of the Storm. I think you can get away with just Heal Clip, guys. I mean, I am really trying to promote people using more Heal Clip inside of PvP. It's that good. The moment you proc it and get it going, you kill your teammates up, dude, you could just start pushing engagement after engagement. You could do like a Heal Clip combo if you didn't want to do Magnificent Howl. I will say, yes, I know some of you are like, I wish it had Zim Moment, but I promise you, this weapon is very, very stable. You'll be just fine without Zim Moment. For my PvE players, though, I think Magnificent Howl is still going to be the go-to option. My concern with Magnificent Howl is the same thing that I was concerned with because of Sturm. You know, Sturm and its overcharged shots does not stack with Lucky Pants. And, you know, you've got Drain that overcharges those bullets and loads them up. And then you could swap, you know, when we tried it with Lucky Pants, it didn't work. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case with Magnificent Howl. If Magnificent Howl does, in fact, stack with Lucky Pants, even though this archetype is not normally a good archetype to utilize with Lucky Pants, 180s are the best. I think the damage buff is going to be enough to really stack some really good damage. All right, Midnight Coup, Destiny 2 Year 1. This hand cannon dominated PvP and PvE in Year 1, mostly because raid weapons were the only ones with 2 trait columns back then. Plus, it had amazing stats. These have fallen behind a little bit, so we've updated them at the same time. We have given it a brand new perk pool. It still includes the original combo of Outlaw plus Rampage, but keep an eye out for Firefly plus Kinetic Tremors for PvE and Moving Target plus Zim Moment for PvP consistency roll. So third column, we have Outlaw, Firefly, Shoot to Loot, Explosive Payload, Moving Target, Attrition Orbs, and Inline Action. Fourth column, Rampage, Kinetic Tremors, Zim Moment, One for All, Frenzy, Opening Shot, and Desperate Measures. So they got Zen Moment in that final column. First up, let me just talk for my PvE players. Firefly, Kinetic Tremors, that looks really good. Explosive Payload is also present here too. You can even do like Explosive Payload, you know, hell, Explosive Payload, Kinetic Tremors, Explosive Payload, One for All, you know, oh my God, just the ability to just stack all these things up together is crazy. Explosive Payload, Kinetic Tremors roll, if it counts as multiple hits, what that essentially does is that cuts the requirements to proc Kinetic Tremors in half. You know, so what would take, you know, 14 shots to proc Kinetic Tremors, take 7. And this is huge. This means more kinetic procs for you, which nets you a ton more damage. Now, for my PvP players, dude, I mean, Moving Target, Zim Moment is probably going to be the go-to role. I would have said Explosive Payloads in moments. We gotta look at Explosive Payload. Right now, there's problems with Explosive Payload in PvP because it will not give you the 3-tap. at certain resilience levels. It's annoying. I know Bungie is actually addressing this, but it's still, it seems like a band-aid on an issue they can't seem to solve, which is just equalizing the damage in PvP. And I don't know why. But if they can get that fixed, or if I can still reliably get my 3 taps with explosive payload, then explosive payload Zim Moment is going to be my go-to choice, guys. Now, Hung Jury SR4, the Taken King. Hung Jury SR4 was at one time one of the most requested weapons to bring forward from the original Destiny, and we did it in Destiny 2 Season the Splicer. But it was only right to include it again here, given its legacy. A third time and a fourth time. Third column, rewind rounds, inline action, kinetic trimmers, rapid hit, shoot to loot, no distractions, and loose change. Fourth column, one for all, cascade points, box breathing, firefly, precision instrument, desperate measures, and explosive payload. So we're getting box breathing back, which is fantastic. We've got rapid hit here too, which is also good. Cascade they're throwing on there. Legolas should be quite happy about that. And then for my PvE players, I mean, you got rewind rounds, one for all. You've got precision instrument in here. You got explosive rounds in here. I mean, what you could do for notice, so box breathing, which does drop your time to kill substantially, and essentially gives you like, what is it, guys? It's a 0.67 CTK value. It's fast. It's close. You could do box breathing, no distractions, because by the time you sign in and proc box breathing, you're procking no distractions. So yeah, you could definitely go that route. All right, Elsie's rifle, original Destiny. Known as the Stranger's Rifle when it originally shipped, this pulse rifle is familiar to any Guardian who played through the original Destiny campaign and is the oldest weapon on this list. I can't believe they're actually bringing it back. Now it returns as a void weapon with top-tier PvE and PvP perks. Third column, Feeding Frenzy, Zim Moment, Repulsor Brace, Loose Change, Keep Away, Under Over, and Rewind rounds. Fourth column, Adrenaline Junkie, Frenzy, Destabilizing rounds, Kill Clip, Desperado, Desperate Measures, and Head Seeker. All right, so we've got Head Seeker, Zim Moment, which is going to be nuts. Under Over, by the way, guys, that's good for barriers, right? Not barriers, overshields, correct? Because it does increase, Under Over does increase damage against barrier champions. Yeah, you know, utilizes. Everybody complains about barriers, not barrier, overshields inside of Destiny and overshields inside of PvP. Boom. But it's got, yeah, it's got Desperado, it's got Keep Away. I personally love Keep Away on the new Moon Pulse rifle. It's a high impact as well. Really, really good. You can have Keep Away here. Keep Away Head Seeker is a good roll. I think I'm going to take Zim Moment, but Keep Away is nice for the range bump. But good stuff overall. We'll see if we utilize it inside of PvE as well. I mean, Desperado and Rewind rounds, that's pretty interesting. Now, that's all of them. Half of these will be available starting April the 9th, including the Recluse, Hung Jury, Succession, Edge Transit, and Elsie Rifle, and Fallen Guillotine. The remainder will unlock one at a time each week through the week of May 21st. The Brave Arsenal weapons will continue to drop from Onslaught after the final shape, but the limited edition variants won't be available after June 3rd, so get them while you can. And we did an entire video breaking down what those limited variations are, guys. And, you know, there's like curated rolls, but keep in mind, the curated rolls are like a 70 to 80% God roll, okay? So the random rolls is really the best thing there. Now, we hope you are as hyped as we are about Onslaught and the Brave Arsenal, and that you found all the information we shared today useful. And there's still more to share. Our third and final live stream focused on Destiny 2 Into the Light will air on April the 2nd. That's exactly 1 week before the content update arrives on April the 9th. We can't wait until then, Guardians. Okay, so next week live stream, which we are going to be live for, is supposed to be showing the exotic. There's a lot of speculation on what that exotic is going to be. We will be taking eggplant bets. Some are saying Red Death. Others are saying Whisper of the Worm and it returning with its mission as a craftable exotic. That's kind of what I'm leaning toward, but we'll see.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.